G'day viewers, well today I'm going to be fixing our kitchen stove. It's an Electrolux, little ceramic cooktop stove, and yeah, had problems with it. Basically what was happening, the most commonly used hot plate, have it on turned on low. On low the thing will just be roaring red hot on low, so that tells us, or tells me, that this little switch contact in here is actually burnt out. And it started to arc and stick, and yeah, it arced, welded itself together, and yeah, basically it was on flat out as soon as you switched it on to low. Then if you start using it in other settings, that little contact would not arc or conduct properly. So on high it would probably be on low, so it's just either be on flat out or not at all, or just partially semi. So that switch is bad. Here's our new one. Nice messy handwriting here, drawing a wiring diagram. It goes that way. Looking at it from this side, we've got red and black stripe wire, which is our load to the hot plate. Black with a white stripe, which is marked for yeah, there's two here actually, hang on, phase 1 and phase 2 they are. There's two here, so we've got white and black, and we've got pilot, which is that red with a white stripe, which goes to that indicator light, and double crimped, which goes to this double joined here, which is neutral, which goes there. It's got neutral, 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 neutral on those switches. So I just chuck this on like that, and we'll bolt it down. But yeah, the stove basically wasn't getting hot enough, and I was either getting too hot or not hot enough, so that means that switch was bad. Contact was burnt out, so switching 15 amps at 240 volt over time does burn that contact out. Screw a new switch on. Make sure these are tight, because these can be loose even from factory. Yowch. So that's on the off position, that's the right way up, so when that sits on, you can see how that thing kind of works. A little resistance potential with the thing in there that controls the heating element in the plate. And there's a hot plate module there. Flat, compact little thing. And that's our function for the rapid heat, fan force bake, base heat, defrost, turbo grill and grill and mixer grill for the oven. Pretty nice little thing, a little cam there. Our oven temperature. And that's the electronic part with the clock and all your settings and your cook timing and all that sort of stuff. And there's an electrolytic capacitor there, so if this ever does go bad, I'll know to replace that electrolytic, which is rated at 125 degrees Celsius. So not the best thing you can put in the oven environment like this. So that'll be the first thing that will go if this stops working. And there's a relay there which switches the oven on or off when you have your cook and you're away and you got to set the cook. The timer runs out and this will click off and turn the oven off. So we'll start this connection here. We've got neutral, which is this one, goes over here. As you can see, it's marked neutral. Okay, got it all done, viewers. That's how it wires up, looking at the switch like that and coiling it that way. So yeah, kind of messed up. Should have written what it was called in the switch and read it next to the colour code, but anyway, I managed to work it out which way the switch goes, so yeah, that's all how it wires up. Now I've got to tighten this front nut up here. There we go. Only a $40 little switch. So it's $40 each for these switches. Right, now I'm going to inspect the contacts in these other three, because this one here plays up the same too. When it's on low, they're both, or whichever one you select, is either one flat out when it's on low, so which means a little contact here on the side, like this switch has one that's been burnt out. And it can also arc and get stuck completely shut and yeah, not be variable. So that one there kind of looks like it's burnt. You can see a bit of carbon around the that hole there, so that contact is burnt. But yeah, this one here was the worst one, which controls this hot plate. Most commonly used hot plate, which was this switch, because we used it all the time, so it got worn. So we got low and click, high and off. Give these other switches an inspection. Can't really see, there's not enough room, but yeah, you look through those side holes and you can see if there's burnt contacts. Quick check if everything's right. That one's right. Red with white stripe, that one's right, which goes to that light. Pilot, black, double, the two, that one there, it's got two on there, so that one's right. That one's our black with a white stripe. That's our neutral. Load, which is that red with a black. Yep, that one's right, in the right spot. Brown wire with a black stripe. Phase 1, that one's right, and your white wire, which is phase 2, so yeah. That's alright. So yeah. That's it. That's basically all that can go wrong with these ovens, is the switches. If they start to cook funny on you, that's what goes wrong with these switches. Then this is the next bit thing that could screw up on you. Which is a 2005 model, I think. We bought it. So yeah. It's all made in Germany. The switches are all made in Germany. Inventus. There's a controller that does all your programs on. There's a bit that goes beep. The buzzer. Electrolytic capacitor, so that's only one there, so it's probably the thing that's most likely to fail in this timer. So I know if this stops working, that's got to be replaced. And there's our thing that sends temperature to the thermostat in here. I'm going to blow a fan there. Alright, I think that this is pretty much fixed now, so put it back together. These little tabs here. Each hook up in here. 1, 2 and 3. So I'm going to be very fiddly getting this back on. And yes, I did turn the main power off before I did this. Always make sure you do that. There we go. Push that in. Screw up there. Alright. Push that in and screw. There we go. Didn't think I could do that at one end, but I did. Feels more better now. Yeah. This one here did get the most use and it still does today, so whichever ones you use the most will be the one that stuffs up and starts playing up and getting too hot. So yeah, a faulty switch causes the oven to either become too hot when you don't want it to be too hot, or too low when you don't want it to be too low. So yeah, all it takes is a switch. So got a good 5 or 6 years out of that. Alright, that's all back together. Should be ready to turn the power back on and see how she goes. That's off, so yeah. Okay, the oil's power's back on. I just did a brief test on high and the thermostat's working normally. So yep, that's working. Switch it on high. Yeah, the camera can pick the infrared up, but I can't see it. Now I'm just starting to see it, but the camera can pick it up very well. High. Turn it down a bit. And that's working good. Now go on low. That's working very well. There you go. Well, this switch as soon as it hit the first notch, that was just flat out, regardless of what the hell this was set to. So that's all it was that causes problems like that in ovens and stoves, switches that go bad. So yeah, the thermostat works normally. They tell you that it's still hot, so that's a successful repair. Of course, when you're doing this, always triple check and make sure you draw the wiring diagram before you start taking this or you're replacing parts like this. Be sure of where all the wires go, then double or triple check the wiring after that, then power it up. Unless, yeah, when you're sure that it's wired correctly the way it was. And that's all put together. This little faceplate holds this up for moving, so that's good. Now I'm going to set the clock. I think it's these two. No, that's not it. Something like that. I have to read the book. But yeah, I think it's something like that or something to set the clock. Yep, that's it. It's 3 PM, so it's 15:02. Two minutes past 3, 4. You hold those two together. Just in case that know what model it is. Electrolux model ESE 6633S. Serial number 62520304. 240 volt, 50 hertz, 9 kilowatt. So obviously a 15 amp the wire this up to. So yeah. Oh yeah, one quick tip when turning these on. Never start from high, always start from low, then go to high. Because if you switch back straight on to high, that little contact there is just switching 15 amps of current at full load on that element, and it just switches it and arcs and causes that to burn, and that arc is what actually destroys the contact and makes the switch faulty. So whenever you want to have something on high, just go low and work your way to high. That way you're gradually increasing current and switching it at very low current, then gradually increase it and go back and go to that one if you want to go to this other middle one only. But yeah, always go this way to go to your high. Never go back that way, because that's what's switching this thing on at full load is probably what's damaged the contacts. So yeah, just a good tip. So yeah, thanks for watching.